everyone, and welcome to a very unique edition of 1, 2, 3 Wrestling right here on SRBTV. I'm Chris, and as always, joined by Nick Slade.
Let's go.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So for those who watch our SummerSlam action, I kind of hinted at why our road so far was kind of short. Like, I wanted to try something a little different. Like,
Mm.
it's cool talking about all the news in our predictions, but it tends to be like for some of the short papers, it tends to be like 90% of the video. So what I want to do is I try something different. I want to try taking a big wrestling topic and that just being the focus. This is not gonna be like a weekly wrestling news. No, I just want anytime there's like big news that drops or like big enough news to constitute like a 10 plus minute video, I would love to do it. So in this
Mm.
case, our prototype pilot, whatever you want to call it for this, whatever we call it. Right now I'm just calling it a discussion of WWE Unreal. Of course, like I just said. We are talking about you want to do the air quotes or should I do the air quotes? The reality show known as WWE Unreal, which is a behind the scenes, first ever behind the scenes look at like everybody remembers that Bret Hart documentary during the Montreal screw job. Like, yeah, that was a real like Vince got one to the face. No, we're not talking about like Vince and his stupid car accident because he's old moron.
Which is
Um,
it's very consistent because so many people have told like horror stories of why they never want to
Yeah,
drive with him.
I read that. Like even it's when you asked Jim Curran, and like no, Jim Curran's like the one rule we made was no, not Vince,
God, it's like
not
at
with
his
Vince.
age though and his money, does he have a driver?
Dude, at
Like,
that age, at that age and the amount of money that motherfucker has,
yeah.
I have Uber Gold, Black, whatever high tier, and somebody's picking me up every day to where I need the fuck to go.
God, I know he probably just enjoys driving, but man, no.
Okay,
Like don't he has enough problems going on, man.
so this we're discussing, of course, WWE Unreal. This is the reality show about some behind the scenes, never before seen stuff that you've never before seen, have seen before, or have never seen before.
Sex.
Comprende? Mhm.
Sure.
Yes. So we're just gonna go over the highlights. We're not going over the whole show. Neither me nor Nick watch these WWE reality shows because A, they're reality shows, and B, it's
There's no
WWE.
it's not very much reality in him.
Combined together, they're as reality as Willy Wonka owning a chocolate factory
This
in
is
the real
reality
world.
as every other reality show.
Yeah. So we're just gonna go over some key highlights that were taken away, news beats basically, and I just, want to go over it. If we missed something, let us know in the comments below. Maybe like the only thing I didn't grab was what I told you during the SummerSlam predictions, which is like Charlotte giving Tiffany Stratton praise after a match at WrestleMania, this year's WrestleMania, and I'm sitting there like, are you fucking kidding me?
That match sucked.
And she's like, oh, she has such a bright future. I'm like, man, you. And that's one of the topics we're going to talk about too. But that's not what we're going to talk about first. So the first thing we're going to talk about is Kevin Owens was originally planned to win the WWE Championship at Elimination Chamber.
Allegedly.
Now we're going off of I'm using dirt sheet site for this, but this is coming directly from the show itself.
Yeah, that's
Like
what they're
as
claiming. Was
yeah, no, yeah,
yeah,
that's what I said. Take all these with a big old asterisk, big old
a giant
asterisk,
block of salt.
giant block of salt in the shape of an asterisk, multiple
Very
giant blocks of salt in the shape of asterisks. Anyways,
artsy.
John Cena's heel turn ultimately closed out February's Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, but
Mhm.
WWE Unreal, I'm just gonna call it Real, but Unreal reveals there were multiple pitches thrown around for a closing moment to Elimination Chamber. As previously reported, one of those ideas would have seen Cody Rhodes turn heel and sell his soul to The Rock, which is true. We know that like there's been pitch heavily about wanting Cody to turn heel. That's not new news on that front. One pitch, however, would have seen KO become WWE Champion heading into WrestleMania. This would have come about through Cody Rhodes rejecting the offer from The Rock, which would have caused Dwayne Johnson to book an impromptu match between Cody and KO, which Owens would have won. Bruce Prichard ultimately pitched for Cena to turn heel, and Triple H was an advocate for his plan, which played out Elimination Chamber. So this was just, it's another one of those. it made it to the table, but it never made it off the creative table, which was like,
Yeah, I just want to know like what would that have led to? Would that have led to Kevin Owens, Randy Orton being for the title, or would it have led to Kevin Owens fighting John Cena and John Cena being a face?
and let's not forget, around this time, remember Kevin Owens was out the door for his neck injury. Like, how would have that shifted things? Would it have just gone that Kevin Owens direction and then immediately reverse hard into like doing what we already saw this year? Like,
Yeah, would Cena's heel turn just happen on Raw instead?
yeah, exactly. Would he just celebrate it, talk about his farewell tour, and then they would have had Travis Scott beat Travis Scott? Fucking hell.
Yeah,
And like
I don't know. I don't know
that's an interesting thought. I mean,
because
what?
apparently the idea for Cena to fight Cody at WrestleMania was an idea that went back a while. So I don't know. This must all I can think is it's just an idea that was thrown out, and it just never. It didn't change the established plans.
Let's think about that. I mean, we would have gotten a better WrestleMania main event match for night two, that's for sure. I mean, it
I
still would
mean,
wound up being Travis Scott interfering, but like, at least it would have been a match.
I mean, what would it have been? Would it have been? But would it have been Kevin Owens versus John Cena? Would it have been Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton? What
Oh
would it have
God.
been?
KO versus Randy would have been so cool to see. But you know, they would have fucking made night two main event be Walter versus James. I can't say that with a straight face.
No, they would have still done something with John Cena because John Cena won the Elimination Chamber. So the only thing I can think of is that it would have been face Cena versus heel Owens. Um, but I don't know. Uh, but I have to think that that idea couldn't have lasted very long because Kevin Owens' neck problems were happening around Royal Rumble,
Yeah.
and he got through Elimination Chamber to finish that thing with Sami Zayn, and then he was out the door.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I don't know where they would have gone, but like it would have made Kevin Owens world champion again, which kind of makes me sad.
if only for a little bit.
But it would have worked. Oh my God. Just okay, we're
Yeah,
gonna
it would have worked because Kevin Owens had just gotten out of a feud with Cody Rhodes, so he still had fresh history with him. And
yeah.
man, if Kevin Owens hadn't gotten injured, he would have. Um, I don't know. The Rock still probably wouldn't have shown up, but Kevin Owens would have been WWE champion. I just don't know what that would have led to. It would have maybe it would have been Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes, John Cena triple threat match. I don't know.
I could see
Uh,
that. I mean, I well think about that. Like, remember the joke we made about Swerve, well, not Swerve, Trick versus Hendry versus uh,
Santana,
Santana. Remember what reason we said why they added Santana? Is so they can have a
uh,
decent match around Trick Williams.
which yeah, I think ended up happening. It's just I know y'all didn't want Trick to win, but I kind of understood why because I think they're going to finish all this about for glory.
Yeah,
Well, that's another topic for another time.
but yeah, I think if that would happen to that would be interesting. Night one triple threat, night two triple threat. Hmm,
Yeah,
that'd be
and
interesting.
interesting enough, well, I guess I don't know if we're going to get to that when we want to get to that. The original planned WrestleMania card.
Well, that's come on, dude. That's we're gonna say I'm saying that for the last because
Okay,
that's
well, a lot
such
of this is going to tie into that.
yeah, a lot is gonna tie into it, but like we're gonna lead into we're gonna eventually lead all this into it. So
Mm-hmm.
now the next one, I think I told you about this. WWE's original plans for the men's Royal Rumble match.
For the men's Royal Rumble.
Yes, the men's Royal Rumble
Yeah,
match.
CM Punk was going to win, or John
Yeah.
Cena, one of them.
Well, go into details. The general consensus among the creative team leading into Royal Rumble was that CM Punk or John Cena should win the men's Rumble. Much of support was behind Punk and would see him go to challenge Walter for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania.
You're not even going to
Uh,
call him Gunther, even when it's printed.
you know what I'm about. You know me so well, Nick. Senior Vice President Ed Kotsky pushed for Jey Uso to be in one of the world title matches at WrestleMania, and this turned the conversation around to Uso winning the Rumble. Triple H questioned if Jey was up to the task, expressing concern that Jey was getting tired following his entrance, something Uso referenced himself during the Unreal. Though he ultimately with Jey as the Royal Rumble winner, though I remember this. There's pictures of it. A lot of people are just and it's in the table. People are like Triple H is still on the bandwagon for the Rumble, but everybody, including like they said, Koski says it probably should be Jey.
Yeah,
I
was it Michael Hayes who pitched it?
I think it was ultimately Michael Hayes who was the turnaround vote on it. But like,
Hmm.
yeah.
Man,
So
though, is that the excuse Jay's giving? Yeah, the reason I'm like, being sloppy in my match is because I'm tired from doing the stupid entrance.
I mean, I don't think that. Let's be honest. I like. I think my personal reason. I think they saw the writing on the wall, Jey Uso. He's a ticking clock. Like you can only push him as a single star for so long for Sparrows to realize, hey, he's not exactly great in a ring if he's not part of a tag team.
And he's not
Like,
that great on the mic. When he's
yeah,
not
like
when he's not saying yeet and spelling and telling you how many letters are in yeet.
how many letters are in Yeet, Nick?
How many words? Yeah, yeah, it's like four letters, one word. Yeet,
Uh.
eat,
No, it's uh.
It's man, it's some of it, man, just some of his promos, he just starts rambling. It's like he forgot his lines or something.
So let me guess you then. If
Uh,
we would have gone the punk route, how would you see stuff play out? Because that we're gonna this topic leads into
hmm.
the next topic we want to talk about.
Yeah,
But like,
if Punk had done it, I assume they would have done Seth Roman one on one. I assume that would
yeah,
have been a one on one match. Uh, if Punk had won the world title there, maybe it would have led to Seth and Punk feuding again, and
yeah,
maybe that's what they're the plan. What we're gonna do now, after SummerSlam, is what they were gonna plan for WrestleMania, but they pushed it back to push Jey Uso for a little bit. So that's why I'm thinking is that's why, as we saw in SummerSlam predictions, why we think Punk's gonna win the title, and it's gonna lead to him. I don't know if Seth is not actually injured, then they can go to the original plan that they were going to do post WrestleMania. But we'll have
yeah,
to see. If not, if Punk does win the title and Seth is injured, I'm sure there's people who can step up to Punk.
yeah. So I
But
mean, if any,
we'll have to see at SummerSlam.
yeah, I think Punk winning would have been fine. I mean, literally, if you still remember who the final four of that match was, like
Mm-hmm.
any of them was viable to be like winning.
Man, I have to say it was a pleasant surprise that Jey Uso won. We were like, what? Because him getting to the final two, we were like, okay, they're giving him the final two, and then he won. We were like, oh my god.
That's interesting how like Triple H was like more or less the last standout on this. He was still on like making Punk win the Rumble.
Yeah, I guess he also saw that Punk's not gonna, we don't know how much longer of a career he has, and he wanted to go ahead and push him main event WrestleMania, which he ended up being the main event WrestleMania anyways, which is kind of interesting because Jay won the Rumble, but Punk still got the main event spot at 9-1.
You know what this doesn't help though? It feels like we now know who's winning that SummerSlam match. Like definitively.
Yeah,
Like
but I'm wondering if Seth's gonna cash in. That's my wondering.
which you guys can hear about if you haven't yet seen our SummerSlam predictions. Make sure to check those out. But yeah, I don't know. I think I would have been mad if Cena won. I know they would have been happy in the crowd. I would have not been happy if Cena won.
If he
Punk,
had won, he would have been not only the second person to win it three times, but the only person to win it in three different decades,
yeah.
which would have been interesting.
But ultimately, I think Jey Uso was still I think Jey Uso was the right call. I think it was a moment that will forever go down in history as like Jey Uso winning a Royal Rumble. Like
He
nobody
got
was
and
as
he got his got his run. He had his
yeah.
he capitalized on his popularity, which they need. There's a few other wrestlers they need to be doing that with, but we'll see. LA Knight.
So we were speaking of
Yeah.
Punk. Speaking of CM Punk, we're gonna tell you with Mr. Punk, which was that he was originally gonna win that night one triple threat main event.
Hmm.
Triple H confirmed during Unreal that he and CM Punk met a few years after Punk departed WWE in 2014 to discuss a return. But Triple H was opposed to bringing Punk back, saying, when there was a conversation about him coming back, I said, still the same dude, won't work. And I remember that line. You remember that line too.
Hmm.
Like, in a later meeting, though, the two men realized the other was different and they decided to bring Punk back, which came about as far as year 2023. Which I saw that behind the scene video they released like late last year.
Yeah,
After,
thanks to Tony Khan not being able to control his wrestlers.
yep.
Thanks,
After,
Tony.
well, it also, was it? Six words. Real glass, cry me a river. So, Okay. After WWE pivoted from Punk versus Walter at WrestleMania to CM Punk versus Rollins versus Reigns, the original pitch from Triple H would have seen Heyman turn on Punk, but the turn would backfire and Punk would still win. Kotsky was in favor of Rollins winning, as was Prichard, but the plan was changed to Rollins winning and aligning with Paul Heyman.
Yeah, I thought that made more sense. That's actually, I thought that even though I predicted that was going to happen, I still thought that was a great twist.
The double, not even just a single turn, a double
A
turn.
double turn, yeah,
That was good. That was some good stuff.
that was a good night one. Too bad night two main event sucked, but
Yeah, I think the double turn really elevated like it being the best match of night one. Like
mhm.
it was really well done. Heyman doing it was everybody saw it coming but me. I'll be honest. Like I should have but I was too in the WrestleMania moment to like realize that.
Mhm.
But I think if Punk would have won that, I don't know. I don't think it would have worked. I think you would still. I think WWE would have eventually still led to like Heyman turning on Punk and ultimately aligning with Rollins. I think that still would have eventually happened. They would just delayed it here and moved it
Nah,
elsewhere.
but I think we agree it was more special the fact that he did it to both Roman and Punk in the same match.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, I'm right. Okay, so yeah, I think they made the right call there by like making it Rollins winning that triple threat. Okay, this one I
So,
saw.
so the
Oh,
fact that they decided not to go with Punk winning the Rumble and not win the WrestleMania main event, they make I think it does really point to him finally giving him the title at SummerSlam to make up for it.
hmm,
So yeah, I do. I think this really is pointing to Punk winning at SummerSlam.
yeah. And then, okay, I'm not gonna. This was caught on camera, so take with both of you. Like I said, giant asterisk full of salt. CM Punk cried before the WrestleMania 41 Night One main event.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna look. If it was any of us in that position, I think we'd be both be in tears. We will be asking for
Yeah, but this is the
beers, Stone
same.
Cold style, but like,
This is the same guy who mocked the concept of night one when he was in AEW, calling the buy one get one.
yeah. CM Punk was show. Oh, yeah. Do you want to bring up his thoughts on the Saudi shows? Yeah.
Yeah,
CM.
money
Yeah.
talks, man.
Bunny does talk. CM Punk was shown a gorilla position before the match got underway, of the WrestleMania Night One main event, during which he was crying. This promoted Triple H gave Punk a pep talk, talking Punk before the match that he's CM Punk, and CM Punk has always been a main event guy.
Mm,
Punk noted post match that all he ever wanted to do since he was a child was main event WrestleMania, and now he had done it. Okay, so I
kind
think we're
of.
right. I think we're right on our joking point on it, and I think it was something he has legitimately wanted to do. Like, come on, it's main eventing a WrestleMania. Like, I get that. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're still right. I think we're still right. Money talks. Money talks, and like, even when
Mm,
the money talks, Ted's could still be sure of money. Hell, you can do what Woody Harrelson did in Zombieland. Just that's what Punk did in that scene they show on Unreal. Just he wiped his eyes with $100 bill. You know.
yeah. Um. Yeah, I like those movies.
Yeah, it's a good movie. But yeah, I don't think anything of this. Like he was emotional about it. Cool. Like you get the main event WrestleMania. I would be emotional if I got the main event WrestleMania. Or
It
go.
was night. It was night one. That's still something.
Yeah, it's still something. Like look, okay, okay, just to get this out of the way, because I know this will eventually be brought up. I hate it when they call stuff triple or double main events. I hate that.
Hmm.
I'm not as if pissed at it if you're calling night one a main event, the night one WrestleMania main event. That's
Hmm.
not that I'm not entirely like pissed off on that. That's like okay, sure, fine. I kind of disagree, but like yeah, sure, main event, that I'll let slide,
I mean, they
not the
are. I
double
mean,
triple.
I am making fun of it a little bit, but I get it's like two separate nights. But it kind of says, are these two separate events or is it one major event spread across two nights? And if it's one major game spread across two nights, then the actual main event is the last match of the event, which is night two. But I get the idea that night one, night two is two separate cards. So I guess they'd be the main event of of the event. But I've seen some people compare it more to being the the big finale act of Act One, like the big song before you go to an intermission of a show.
Hmm.
That's not exactly the final number of the show, but it just kind of depends how you feel about it. But
Yeah,
if he considers it him fulfilling it his goal, then all for it.
yeah. I think I just had this thought. I don't know if you'll agree with this. I think Punk was always going to be destined to come back to WWE no matter what happened.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you've seen the people who have come back, like Bret Hart came back, Ultimate Warrior came back, Bruno San Martino came back.
Yeah. Well, I
Um,
mean, I mean, that shift was that shift was mainly because, burning,
burning
mending
everyone,
broken
burning bridges everywhere else.
mending broken fences at the same time.
Well,
Uh,
burning bridges everywhere who could pay him the money because TNA wanted him.
yeah, so like Punk like I think Triple H helped the Punk thing. Like really did. It was Vince
Mm-hmm.
being out of power, I mean not Punk in full control, Triple H in full control, actually being able to talk to Punk like an actual human being, not Vince being Vince.
I think it also helped to CM Punk had more respect for Triple H than he had respect for Tony Khan.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because
Definitely.
Triple H
Because
ain't gonna because Tony Khan, I shit on Tony Khan a lot, but man, he makes it easy. Uh,
well,
he just doesn't act like a boss, man. He's just acting like a fanboy who wants to be friends with all the wrestlers, and you can't do that. Like he's like Punk knows he can't get away with it with Triple H because Triple H are gonna put up with that shit, and you need somebody like that in charge.
okay, let's go from Punk crying to a funny, interesting pitch for the women's Royal Rumble match.
Oh, this was funny. I actually wish
Ch
they hadn't revealed this because I wanted them to do it. I wanted to do
Chelsea
it.
Green was
No, you
pitched
gotta say it right.
do it
Chelsea Green.
was pitched to win the Women's Royal Rumble match in bizarre fashion. Charlotte Flair ultimately won the Women's Royal Rumble on her return from injury. But one pitch was for Chelsea Green to win the match by entry at number 30 after all the other participants had already been eliminated.
Yeah, like the last like the 28th, 29th person left in the ring eliminate each other, which by default means the 31st is win, which that's hilarious. And that would have worked with a wrestler like Chelsea Green. And I wish they hadn't told us about it because I want them to actually do that.
The
Because
pitch received, oh,
that
go
would be
on.
hilarious.
The pitch received hearty laughs from WWE Creative, but ultimately didn't come to pass. I mean, no shit. But obviously didn't come to pass. I mean,
I would
you
have
can
fought for that idea. I would have
think
fought
up,
for it.
think about it. Think about it. We see they pull what we've always seen them do. Somebody looks like they get eliminated and they're not in the match the rest of the time. Imagine both the two women pull I forgot which Royal Rumble it was. I think no, it was 2005 Royal Rumble. Imagine you pull Batista Cena. Kind
Yeah.
of like both
Eliminated at the
eliminated,
same time. And he went,
and
oh,
then
somebody walks in.
somebody walks in. No, Chelsea goes right in with a ref, and the ref raises her hand,
Because she was never eliminated.
and they do an instant replay thing like they do in football. They actually look at instant replay and show she was never eliminated. There's no tie here. Chelsea wins.
And you,
LOL.
man, and you can make that easily where you can have Chelsea go for a title because you can build up a big match around the other title. And honestly, I think Chelsea Green's good enough to win one of the women's world titles. I mean, less talented women have held it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that would have been so fucking dope.
I would have
Like,
thought. That's why I'm unhappy they revealed it because I actually want them to do it.
so the other thing I found out was interesting was like Chelsea Green doesn't mind losing. That's
Mm-hmm.
another thing that this is going to be part of the same topic here. I don't know if it was revealed through here or somewhere else. Like she doesn't mind losing, is what I've
Mm-hmm.
heard, because she knows like what matters is ultimately being on camera.
Mm-hmm.
You
Being
know,
used. Yeah.
being used, actually being used, and I give credit to her. She knows her worth, and she knows like when that time comes, she's going to be ready. Because people forget Chelsea Green is actually a good wrestler.
Yeah.
She is. She legitimately is. I'm not being ironic. She actually is
She's
good.
very entertaining.
She's like, I don't know who to compare to. No, it's like Tori. She's like the female Toriano. you know, joke character can actually legit go.
Hmm.
That's
I
who
mean,
Chelsea Green is.
like people forget, like in TNA, she had the crazed bride gimmick, which was
Yeah,
hilarious.
exactly. So that would have been, I guess, overall, I would have loved that as a finish. That would have been hands down my two favorite like moments of the year. Jay wins Rumble match. Chelsea finds a way,
Man, I would have laughed my ass off if that happened.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're back to unfortunately who won that women's Royal Rumble, Charlotte Flair. So our
Yeah.
next topic to talk about is
Ooh.
Triple H, and not a shocker to anybody. Triple H was very upset with Stratton going off script in her infamous SmackDown segment with Charlotte Flair.
Which is kind of hypocritical considering the shit Triple H has gotten away with over the years.
Okay, Unreal showed the infamous promo exchange between Stratton and Flair ahead of their WrestleMania 41 match, which ended with Stratton telling Flair she was 0-3 with marriages. First off, that would have gotten a high five for me if I was in the, it's like one of those like that would have been me behind Stratton. You know, that was such a good line. Telling Flair
But it
she
but
was 0-3 in marriages.
it hurt Charlotte Flair's feelings.
Following the divorce line, Triple H was shown asking Stratton and W. Ryder if the line was part of the script, at which point Stratton told him at the end of her promo was not planned. A W. Ryder later informed Triple H, who was sitting at Corella with Prichard, that it was the 0-3 line that was in the original script. Triple H was upset and said, "So I need to understand that's always not how we do this. So he needs to go to Stratton and apologize, and they need to get on the same page." Stratton and Flair did get on the same page, and they were shown hugging, which ran thinking Sharp Flair match WrestleMania 41, which I told you it felt like complete bullshit. Okay,
But people also pointed out the week before that Charlotte was over talking Stratton in the interview segment. Like, and come on, this is the same Charlotte Flair has gone to business for herself before. Have we forgotten the part where she dropped the belt when she was exchanging belts with Becky? Like,
yeah.
are we gonna act like Charlotte hasn't done that? Gone to business for herself? So God forbid somebody else does it instead. Oh, it's like Hangman Page all over again. Oh, Punk can do it all he wants, but somebody does it to him, and now he's crying.
Yeah, see, this is why I hate about the WrestleMania match. If this is true and they apologize, why was that match so sloppy? Why did they have no chemistry? This is Charlotte Flair, who, like I said, future Hall of Famer, an amazing female wrestler. You have Tiffany Stratton, who's getting there on her, who's getting there as well into being a great talent. How does that not equal success?
It didn't help that their ring gear was so similar that I had trouble telling who was who.
Yeah, you've brought that up. You actually brought that up a few times now, and that's true. You're still right about that. But like, no, this is still off.
Uh,
Flair, obviously,
Context of people out there, we were in the nosebleeds watching from down, so that's how it was hard to tell who was who.
yeah, it's two blondes in pink outfits wrestling. It's like, let's go, you. Yeah, that's right,
You,
right? That's right, right? Uh, no, I'm calling a bit bullshit on this one. Like,
yeah.
they apologized, but Flair was still fucking pissed. Who are you kidding? Like, like
Well,
that's
also that footage of Triple H saying, "Oh, I'm going to need you to apologize," that felt kind of scripted. I'm kind of wondering if that actually was filmed when it happened, because I feel like we talked about this before. Some of the show seems like they film things as if it was part of whatever really happened,
yeah.
but that felt staged.
That I think that's the one that felt like, and like I said, and that Flair didn't fucking care. Flair was still pissed. You don't matter how many times you
Yeah.
apologize, you pissed her off, and it didn't help too. She was just getting out of a divorce with fucking Andrade, so like
Mm-hmm.
the wound was still fresh. So like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know Stratton crossed the line there, but Flair, given the fact how long she's been in the business, should have had a bigger backbone. Because if it was like I hate to compare it to her father, but that was her father would have taken it in stride.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, fine.
He would have ran with it.
He would have ran with it because it's Ric fucking Flair. Like, no matter
Woo.
how much I'm not a big fan of the dude, is okay. So for context, me and my brother finally finished watching that Netflix show Wrestlers about OVW when Al Snow was still running it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the finale episode, the opening is Al Snow at the Ric Flair's last match pay-per-view, and I'm looking at my burger like, oh God, not again. Oh God, not again. But my point still stands. It's like, come on. If you've learned anything in this business, Charlotte, is to have a backbone, which you apparently you should have had a bigger one. Now, look, no, don't get me wrong. Everybody's built differently, especially when it comes to divorcing somebody you think you'll love eternally. I'm just saying, like, if she didn't want that to happen, then maybe, I don't know, actually work with Stratton, actually work with her on this, instead of thinking you're still, you're still grand shit. Oh, I forgot the actual term, but like
Hot shit.
hot shit, like, nah, that's bullshit. That's completely bullshit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it sucks that both the Rumble winners matches sucked this year.
Oh my God. The J the J1 could have been better because it was Walter, and Walter does so amazing with
He
the
got a great
underdog
match out of Pat
babyface.
McAfee, who's had good matches before, but he hadn't wrestled in a while.
Yeah, exactly. Hell, he got a good match out of fucking Goldberg of all fucking
Oh yeah, that's an
people.
even better comparison. Yeah, that's why. Even though I know Punk can't go as well as he can, I still believe that Gunther's going to get a good match out of him
Yeah.
because that
Okay.
that man can go. So, and also it was dumb to make Gunther tap out. That was a stupid booking decision.
So this
I would have accepted a roll up pin.
so this one we're transitioning a bit more to earlier back in January. Punk versus Rollins on the Raw Netflix pair went over time, and Joseph Parks, aka Abyss, the producer in the match, repeatedly apologized to annoyed Bruce Prichard. Now,
Bruce Prichard, man, there's things to say about him, man.
no. This is but I'm mad at Pritchard, but I'm happy for somebody else in this situation.
Yeah,
Punk versus Rollins headlined on Netflix premiere Raw, but a match ran long, which prompted Chris Park. I said Joseph Park. My apologies. Chris Park,
that's one of his characters. Yeah, Joseph
yeah,
Parks.
Chris Park, aka Abyss, to cut an Anaconda Vice spot that was planned. As Chris Park was frustrated in a moment and apologized to Bruce Pritchard. The match was 2 minutes over by the time it finished, and Abyss apologized again to Pritchard after the show was finished. A bemused Pritchard said the main event was overran, overproduced over everything else.
Which is bullshit.
But the man with class, William Regal, didn't congratulate Abyss
He's a
on a great match.
man, a
Such a
manly
man.
man.
William Regal sold a silver lining. Fucking William goddamn Regal. Put respect on that goddamn name. Awesome.
They need to put him
William
in the
Regal
hall. They need to
showing
put
some
him.
class.
That man's overdue for the Hall of Fame.
Definitely. Oh, okay. Continuing on, but like, yeah. So look at this. Like, Punk versus Rollins was one of Punk's best matches after coming back to
Mm-hmm.
WWE.
That
Like,
match was good.
match was the best match of the premiere.
Yeah,
Like, hands down, really well done. Like, honestly, got well done. Yeah, it went over, but motherfucker, look at you guys now on Raw. You guys go 2.5 hours tops, and you maybe go a few minutes over if necessary. Even though Netflix is giving you permission to go full 3. So
yeah.
like,
And I don't know if Bruce Prichard knows what the term overbooked means. You want to see overbooked? Look at John Cena, Cody Rhodes. That match was overbooked. Overbooked means adding too much crap to it. Punk Rollins was not overbooked. It may have been a little long, but that doesn't mean it was overbooked. I think Bruce Prichard was just being pissy, like he always is.
and Abyss was apologizing too. And
Yeah,
you know what
like
happened
making
instead?
it
Oh, go on.
like doing that to him, like him specifically, also makes me mad because
Yeah.
I felt like Bruce Prichard was just whipping his dick out and doing a power move on a producer, a younger producer.
That's why I love William Regal, what he did. He came up to
Mm,
him, and you know what he told him? He said, good match.
yeah,
That's it. Like, come on. You don't just berate someone with the negatives. You congratulate them on the positives, especially
like
in this
if Bruce
situation.
Prichard wants to say, "Hey man, it went a little long, but here's they call it a criticism sandwich, right?
Yeah.
You tell the a good part, then you go all the things that was wrong, and in the end it was a good part. You don't just go berating somebody for everything that's wrong, man. Also, Does Bruce Prichard remember who he's talking to? That man's Abyss. He may be Chris Park right now, but he's still Abyss. Black Hole
Yeah.
Slam, your brother love ass.
Yeah, Prichard, I think is still a problem in WWE. Like, I
Man,
still like you
I
know who would be you know what's fine? You know who should replace Prichard? Fucking William Regal.
man, I want William Regal back to NXT general manager, man.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
Instead of the Nepo baby.
Okay. Next up, Cody Rhodes pitched to make the save for John Cena on a Raw Netflix premiere. I don't know exactly what this means. John Cena appeared on the Raw Netflix premiere with a single promo to kick off his retirement year. Cody Rhodes pitched an angle for Cena to be surrounded in the ring by a dozen heels and for Rhodes to make the save. Triple H balked the idea, however, as he didn't want Cena to look like he needed saving on his first night back. That would have
No,
been interesting, but I
it would.
don't think that would have worked.
It would. No, it would have because it would have set the idea that Cody and Cena are friends. So when Cena betrayed him, it would have been even bigger. It would have been a bigger betrayal.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, maybe. But like, say if like I don't know. I don't know, you wouldn't have made Cena wrestle that night.
And also, come on, Cena's
I
again like he's not Super Cena anymore. He's not going to fight off a dozen guys.
I mean you could have had Theory and Waller show up and beat the shit out of Cena. You could have still done it. I think I now that I think about it, I think the Rose's idea of like a bunch of heels coming out beating the shit out of Cena, like about to beat the shit out of Cena, I think that was overdone. I still think you could have still had a couple of heels do that, but I don't think in the span of like surrounding the entire fucking ring.
Well, he probably figured that would be enough to for John Cena to need help. Like if you just send Waller and Theory out there, which they broke them all up off camera after all this time of teasing their split, they do it off camera. Oh yeah, we're not together anymore. I was like,
That
okay,
sucked.
what?
But honestly, it's I think it would have been a good idea. I think just dial it down a bit, and I
Yeah,
think it would have worked.
and
And
it would have eventually led into their feud.
and it would have been okay. Never mind. Who am I kidding? I still hated that WrestleMania main event match. Um. Let's see. Next up, I think this one's a little interesting. The altercation between Triple H and KO at Saturday's main event was not planned. Triple H and KO ended up in a shoving match following Saturday night's main event in December 2024 after KO beat down Cody Rhodes following the main event. That wasn't a part of the plan though, and it only occurred as Triple H was planned to go around KO. But Owens was already by the entrance ramp, and Triple H felt they had to do something in the moment. Triple H immediately apologized to Owens for the spot, but Owens said it was awesome. That's cool. Okay, I'll give Triple H that. You know, he doesn't wrestle anymore, but like what's cool is he can just go with these ideas on the fly as soon as he can.
Yeah,
Like it's a positive way of using of Vinceism, you know?
he's a pro. He knows what he's doing.
Exactly. So him coming out to confront KO about it, that was well done. And I
Very,
thought,
it may seem very more important.
yeah, it seemed more important, and let's even grander match eventually down the road with KO Sammy at Elimination Chamber as
Mm-hmm.
well. Like you can tell this was the beginning of KO hating like the authority, like you know people getting in his way, pissing him off, causing all this trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very well done. Not honestly, not much to say on that. Like
Mm-hmm.
Triple H's awesome, KO's awesome, and Triple H made the right call.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta write that down. That I didn't think we could go through that one quicker. God damn it, the what if on KO. Triple H he prays on the women's roster. Triple H showed how highly he thinks of the women's roster throughout Unreal, including one moment after Belair won the the Elimination Chamber match, where Paul leaned over to WWE producer Shane Helms and said the pacing of the women was better than the men, adding there are 5 great women to every one great man at the WWE Performance Center. Now, what? Let me get your thoughts on this as I wrap this previous timestamp. Thoughts?
Oh, sorry.
Thoughts? You,
I thought
uh,
I thought you were setting up
other
a question.
human that is here in this
I thought you were
video.
setting up a question. I didn't know that was the question.
Yeah, I have to like wrap up a little bit more.
Excuse me for living. Um, Yeah, I'm trying to remember those matches because apparently Triple H thought the women's match was better. Uh, I have to go back and see what my thoughts are. Would I think that I remember that match being okay, but I don't know what else I'm really supposed to say about it. Like Triple H praised the women's roster. Yeah, WWE has a great women's roster.
when they
It's
use them.
when you use them. The tag division needs work, which hopefully that's what they're leaning it more into that with the Alexa Charlotte
Once again, check
team.
out our SummerSlam predictions for more thoughts on that.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that kind of reminds me. I know we're talking about WWE, but you see what Tony Khan why he said they haven't introduced AEW women's tag team titles?
Why? Because his toys aren't clean enough?
No, because apparently in the women's gauntlet match, 25% of the women in that match got injured. And so he wanted to have a tag team tournament.
No, 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 no. This is the same motherfucker who recently said, "Oh yeah, I don't mind the men going as hard as they do in their wrestling matches."
Yeah, like, jeez, I have things to say about that. But yeah, apparently he's like, yeah, I want to have a tag team tournament because he loves his fucking tournaments. But some of the women I won in that tournament aren't healthy yet. It's like, come on, man. Like,
You know
I
what?
don't I
I'll
don't
go
want
on.
somebody to get paralyzed in the AEW. I don't want that to happen because God dang, Brian Danielson did way too many dangerous spots during his run in AEW. But we're getting a bit off topic.
No,
Uh,
no, no, no. You bring no. You know this is how I'll swing it around. See, Tony Khan's women's division has its success. The only thing that makes WWE's women's division slightly better is that you can actually feel that success. It's
yeah,
not just I have great women, watch them wrestle. Okay, come back into the toy chest.
yeah,
You
because I
know,
was bored watching that women's gauntlet match because I didn't care about any of the characters because I had no reason to. Like at least WWE makes me care about the characters. I care about Rhea Ripley's character. I care about Naomi's character. Io Sky. Even like in the mid card Chelsea Green. I actually know what everybody's deal is. It seems like in AEW, a lot of the women have the same basic gimmick. You're either a mean girl or you're making sexual innuendos.
so and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying WWE's division, women's division is perfect.
It's
It still
no, it's not.
has,
It's not.
it's still a big old clusterfuck.
Their tag division isn't anything to brag about either.
Clusterfuck as well. But like okay, look, I know we're talking shit about everything that supposedly is the truth here on this reality show, but
Yeah,
like,
we're working what we got.
I can believe Triple H saying there are five great women to to every one great man. I can believe him that. I know he can see the talent in his women's division. I think that's one of the reasons, though we don't entirely like it, that like I think he's fine with Becky pulling up, oh, not intentionally, but technically pulling up Becky Hogan and helping build Lyra Valkyria as this great women's wrestler. It's like
Mm-hmm. Which is
we
not
need,
not a Hogan thing to do.
which is
Rest in
not a Hogan
peace.
thing to do. It's
Rest
supposed
in
to win
peace.
over. Yeah, Becky's
Yeah.
go on.
No, I was just agreeing with you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So like I can believe that. Him like I said, the Becky Lyra thing is a perfect example of that. So like that's why I think Lyra's gonna win because it's just established her as a solid member of the women's roster.
I
That's what he's
definitely
done.
care about her more than I did before the Becky feud.
That's what he's done with Chelsea Green and the
Mm-hmm.
Secret Hervis. That's what he's done with Stephanie Vaquer to an extent. That's what
Yeah.
he's done. He has done, keeps on doing that to the women that really wants to put a spotlight on. Yeah, I know one of those women's Jade, and we have our own thoughts about that, but you know what? Fuck, it's somebody different that we haven't got in the past 5 fucking years in the women's
Mm-hmm.
division. Like, yeah.
And you know
So,
what? At least he can focus on more than one woman at a time in his division, one or two
yeah.
women at a time.
Yeah, so regardless of what we think of Charlotte, regardless of what we think of Jade, regardless of what we think of the Becky Lyra situation, especially into SummerSlam, you know what? His women's division is slightly better than AEW's.
Mm-hmm.
Slightly. Once again, slightly. I still think the best women's division around is not counting Joshi wrestling promotions, is in fact like some place like TNA.
Yeah.
Oh,
TNA,
except for who their current knockouts tag team champions are.
which at the upcoming event they're defending in a 4-way match. Maybe they'll drop it there. They're defending it at Emergence in a four.
Don't Hawkeye. I mean, don't do that. Don't give me hope.
Yeah, who they defend against? Inspiration, Fatal Attraction, and another team. I can't remember who. Oh no, yeah, it was. What was their names? It was. I forget what their WWE names were. Zaya Brookside and Lei Ming. Is that her name now?
If the former Xia
Shia, yeah. What was her? What's her current name now? I think it's Lei Ming or something like that. But you know what I'm talking about.
yeah, yeah.
So that's the four-way tag match at Emergence. We'll see if they get out with who wins at that one. Maybe an inspirational win there.
Okay. So they'll save the best for last here. The original WrestleMania 41 card. Now there was a moment you've probably seen the picture of a whiteboard that had the original card, the original plan card for WrestleMania 41. And of course, there's
Mm.
always cards subject to change. Uh,
Especially because how back was this plan made? Because they usually start planning for WrestleMania around SummerSlam. Because right
okay.
now they're probably thinking about next year's SummerSlam, but things change along the way, especially once you get around Royal Rumble time. So how
So
far back does this plan go?
prior to saying Jey Uso would win the Rumble, WWE's plans for WrestleMania 41 were very different, including a diminished role for Travis Scott, fuck, and bigger plans for Stone Cold Steve Austin, aside from trying to murder somebody with an ATV.
He didn't come close to hitting her.
No, like I'm joking. Like if the
I
barricade
know.
wasn't there, those people would have been fucked. Um, okay, so let's start from the bottom of the list and work our way up, because the top of the list is very obvious. So the bottom of the list for the WWE United States Championship, it would have been a ladder match,
Hmm.
as it would have been LA Knight versus
Yeah,
Jimmy Uso versus Andrade versus Solo Sikoa versus Santos Escobar versus Carmelo Hayes versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, to me, that also sounds like who you would pitch for a Money in the Bank ladder match.
yeah.
um,
It's interesting that the one who ultimately faced LA Knight, Jacob Fatu, wasn't on that list at all. Which
yeah.
ultimately, I think it worked out just being the one-on-one match because it was a good moment for Jacob Fatu,
Hmm.
and that match
Yeah.
was actually pretty good between Knight and
Yeah.
Fatu, and it was the start of that run with Fatu and Solo.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, definitely. I think that would have been a better match than what we actually got. Now, don't
Uh,
be wrong. It was we won a game which was LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu for the US title, was a great way to push the Jacob into that solo act, pun not
I,
intended.
I'm wondering, since Fatu wasn't originally in the ladder match, if maybe Solo was supposed to win and then drop it to Fatu later, but they decided to have Fatu win it first and then have him drop it to Solo.
Hmm.
Now I'm wondering because you gotta wonder like who was the original plan winners of these matches too. And since Fatu was in the lineup, my assumption would have been Solo was going to win it.
Yeah, I think so. I think that would have been a standout match. That ladder match, it would
Oh,
have been.
yeah, I mean you have a ladder match with a bunch of good talent, and it's going to be good.
But I think plans. Oh no, that was this year. Because you know what's funny? Let's see. LA, like the few of these stars in this ladder match, where do they wind up? Oh yeah, in that men's Money in the Bank ladder match this year.
Hmm.
Yeah, go figure. But it still would have been a great match. But what do you, okay, so let me ask you then. For the US title, would you have gone with the original idea, or would you stick with the WrestleMania what we did get?
I was still what we did, Kate. I think it ultimately worked out with Jacob Fatu being U.S. champion.
I would have gone with the ladder match idea, but I would have probably swapped out oh fuck it, sorry. I would have swapped out Carmelo Hayes for Jacob Fatu and had Jacob win. Because Solo would win that match. You could have done the whole spot they did at the men's Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania, even making even a grander moment, and him ultimately costing Solo and him getting the US title instead.
Yeah, but I think it worked out the way it did
Oh
because
no, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I still think they did a smart thing by pushing Jacob Fatu in the end. But
mm-hmm.
like next up, oh my God, it's ladder match of Mania, which I'm assuming this would have been like a night two ladder match for the IC championship. It would have been this would have made you happy. Jey Uso versus Damian Priest versus Sami Zayn versus Sheamus. Oh man. Versus Bronson Reed versus Ludwig Kaiser.
Now, this is interesting because the person who ultimately went into WrestleMania as the IC champion was Braun Breaker. So this assumes Braun Breaker would have dropped the Intercontinental title before WrestleMania. And I think the only person he had defended before WrestleMania was Sheamus. So would he have lost to Sheamus deciding his main event and Sheamus would have defended it in the ladder match?
Okay.
Or would Jay had won it back and he would have been the defending champion? I don't. It doesn't say on there who the defending champion would have been, right?
No, it doesn't. And remember what you already said earlier, they planned these way months in advance. So we
Mm-hmm.
at the time it could have been like it could have been it's because they put Jay Uso on there. So I'm assuming these plans were made sometime shortly after he lost the IC title to Braun back to Braun Breaker. So
Yeah, I wonder if the original plan was for him to keep the IC title all the way to WrestleMania
yeah, because yeah.
because Braun won it back.
Um it would I think it would have been Jay getting the title back. But I would have wanted it to be Sheamus to win because, of course, it's Sheamus' story.
Yeah,
Um,
damn it! I want Sheamus to win the IC title. What is taking so long?
so let me ask you once again, we're back to square one with the IC title match we did get, which
Mm-hmm.
was Balor, Dom, what was it? Balor, Dom, Penta,
And
and
Breaker,
Breaker. Which
which
match would
which
you have
Dom won.
preferred?
I would have preferred
Which,
the ladder match because I would have rather Sheamus won than Dominic Mysterio.
well, no, that's no. What I'm asking is, which match would you have preferred seeing? Not determining outcome. Not really determining outcome. Like
I would have
ladder
liked.
match or IC
I
title
would have liked
match.
to have at least one ladder match on WrestleMania card.
Yeah, I think so too. Like if I had to choose, I would say I would have done the IC title ladder match. Like you could still add the four we got for this year's WrestleMania, and maybe still add Kaiser and Sheamus to that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, you still have Dom like get the upset on Balor to continue the Judgment Club stuff, but like
Mm-hmm.
I think it would have worked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this one's interesting.
Oh, speaking of Dom,
Oh,
actually, other news here. So there is a report out that they're planning to make Dominic Mysterio the face of AAA. So it goes to my idea that he actually may lose the IC title to AJ and win the AAA Mega title at Triple Mania.
speaking of deadbeats, the next original match was supposedly Rey Mysterio versus Chad Gable, but with Travis Scott in Rey Mysterio's corner.
That would have had been a completely different storyline. Because obviously
Yeah,
they're going with the idea of the El Grande Americano storyline, but instead he would have already been unmasked by this point.
which means I think Chad pitched the El Grande Americano storyline. That's the vibe I get from this. He pitched it because it was something.
Him wrestling as El Grande.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was him pitching idea. The El Grande idea was Chad's original idea.
And we know this match was supposed to happen, but then Ray got hurt, and it ultimately ended up being Dragon
Right?
Lee.
No, the
No,
other
wait,
Ray.
no, it was Ray Phoenix. Ray Phoenix.
Remember, I got pissed that Ray Phoenix lost his debut WrestleMania match.
At least he got to be on WrestleMania. And I enjoyed the hell out of it. And also, El Grande is over as hell in Mexico. So
Yeah,
suck it. So suck it, haters.
that surprised the crap out of me, honestly. But okay, so let me ask you about this then. Which would you have preferred? I know Rey Mysterio was injured, and we would have gotten this match regardless, even though it would have just been Chad Gable.
Yeah.
So, what I'm asking is simply, would you have wanted Ray versus Chad or Ray versus El Grande Americano?
Ray versus Grande
Sorry,
Americano.
let me repeat it. Mysterio versus Chad Gable or Mysterio versus El Grande Americano.
El Grande Americano because this could have been the match where he got unmasked after losing. And I would rather Travis Scott not be involved in this at all. I don't even know why he would have been involved in this feud in particular at all because he has no connection to lucha culture in the first place. So
Th-
I don't even know why he would have been in this match.
This next match, though, ooh, the what if on this still can happen, though. Actually, honestly, still could all this could still happen.
Mm.
Braun Breaker versus Drew McIntyre with Stone Cold Steve Austin as special guest referee.
That would have been a good match.
That Sheamus said would have been a banger. Like,
Yeah,
holy shit. Now, let me wrong. I still enjoyed the match we got between Damian and Drew, but come on.
and I was really glad Drew won that, and he had no reason to lose to Damian in a rematch. There didn't need to be a rematch.
Yeah. So my thoughts on that is that I like if I had to choose, I would have chose Breaker versus McIntyre.
Yeah, especially with Stone Cold, special guest referee, that
Could
would have
you
made it
could you imagine how the match ends?
Stone
Like
Cold
Braun go
stunning.
Braun was it
I think how I would have done with Breaker going for his awesome spear and Drew counting with the Claymore and winning.
that's I'm literally trying to say that. You
Yeah,
get there, you interrupted. I was trying to say that would have been a cool finish.
and then
Um,
Drew like celebrates and Stone Cold stuns him, and we go home happy.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think Braun would have been the babyface in this situation, ironically enough.
So yeah, again, this assumes that Breaker would have lost the IC title leading into WrestleMania to
Yeah.
whoever would have defended it in the ladder match.
So yeah, do you agree, Braun? Like, would you prefer this or pre or what we got with Priest McIntyre?
I would have preferred this honestly. I think it would have probably been a better match. Not that the other match was bad, and Damien had a cool entrance.
Oh yeah, they had the Doom the Dark Ages promo, which is pretty dope.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. Damn.
and it would have
But
been it would have been something better for Stone Cold to do rather than him almost
yeah,
running people over and just announce the attendance record.
yeah, and like what all the matches we've talked about so far, a lot of these can still fucking happen too. It's not the
Yeah,
end all be all on this. A lot of these matches could still happen. And hell, we're back to Vegas next year. Why don't we just do most of this original card? Okay, anyways. Next up, Bad Bunny versus Dominic Mysterio in a singles match. Now, of
hmm.
course, we know Bad Bunny can go if given the time.
Hmm.
And like Dominic is still a very talented wrestler. So this would have been an entertaining match overall. I don't think like because of course we know what we got originally when it came to not slurry matches, but what Dominic Mysterio situation, which was in the IC title 4-way match. But I think this,
Yeah, I'm assuming I don't know. I'm assuming this didn't happen because Bad Bunny wasn't available.
yeah, yeah, more likely, and I can still see Bad Bunny eventually coming back and shit.
Hmm.
Um, but it would have
Bad
been.
Bunny versus Dominic Mysterio for the AAA Mega Title.
I would love a promo. I don't care who can understand. I would have loved a promo of them going back and forth in Spanish.
Mm.
That would have
Can
been
Dominic
great.
even speak Spanish?
I'm pretty sure. Like he comes from a very Hispanic heavy family,
I
so
mean, I've known plenty of people. You're Hispanic. Do you speak Spanish fluently?
well to be fair, my father was on tour in the Navy, so I didn't get to naturally learn, and my mom was Greek Assyrian, so I should answer your question.
I'm just saying that there's a lot of people who grow up in ethnic families who don't learn the language of their parents or grandparents.
But regardless, I think it would
So
have been
I
a
don't know.
fun match. I can't say what would this would have been originally on the card we did get, but I say it would still would have been entertaining. It probably wouldn't have gone long, maybe 10 minutes most, but like it still would have been a fun match. Next up, wait, did this match still? No, they changed it. Did they change it? Yeah, AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. Who did we
Yeah,
get Logan Paul taking on? Did Logan Paul take on anybody else?
it
Oh my
was Logan
god.
Paul. It was Logan Paul versus AJ Styles. Remember?
Okay, so this
Karen,
match, okay.
this match still happened. Karen Cross screwed him. Remember?
Okay, so this
On
is the first match we've encountered on this list where it remained as is.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, this next one, if this would have fucking happened after we found news that Charlotte's no longer friends with the other four horsewomen, oh, I would have been curious of this one. For the women's tag team championships, I don't know who's champion here, it doesn't clarify. The honestly, the Io Sky and Asuka, I would assume this is still when they were still kind of sort of damage control. Taking on the team of Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair.
Hmm.
Dude, well not easy, what do they call it? Strange bed. What's the term they use for like
Strange bedfellows.
strange bedfellows tag team? We would have gotten at WrestleMania instead of what we're getting now at SummerSlam.
So that would mean they had somebody else planned to win the women's Royal Rumbles, not Charlotte. And Becky, I don't know, this is before she went on hiatus, so she wouldn't have been a special.
I think this was before.
Super,
I think this match was planned before her injury.
yeah, and Asuka, and Asuka was also injured at this point, right?
Yeah, Asuka was by I think by the end. Well, no, yeah, she was. I think they were suspecting she may be back earlier. I maybe
Mm-hmm.
I'm not entirely sure on that,
So at
but
some point, I'm guessing Judgment Day would have lost to, I guess, Asuka and Io.
I'm
I mean Asuka and Kyrie.
yeah, I Asuka and Io or Becky and Charlotte. Like, we don't know.
Wait. Does it say Asuka and Io or Asuka and Kyrie?
It's just Asuka and Io.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So, okay, okay. So then, yeah, this completely changes it. 'Cause I guess the idea of Io winning the title and Charlotte winning the Rumble that had to been planned way after this. Uh, yeah, it's kind of hard to determine because this would have to replace a lot of matches that did happening.
this match would have been great
It would have been great. I
for a
still
go on.
I'm still happy with things we got, like with Becky returning with and winning the tag titles and then returning on our next night. Io coming in as champion, having that awesome triple threat match. It sucks that Asuka was injured, couldn't make it. And yeah, we did get that Charlotte Tiffany match, which kind of makes me wonder. I guess on the card, does it say on there? We'll get to eventually, like who would have challenged for the women's titles?
And now, as Monty Python would say, for something completely different. Three, two, one. That Nick would not have liked.
Ooh.
Uh, for the women's championship, it would have been Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax. So that meant,
Oh,
so
I
that
wouldn't have
meant
liked this.
Nia would have,
Nobody would have liked
that
this.
meant Nia would have not been cashed in on by this point. She
Or
would
Tiffany would
remain
have,
women's champion, and Jade would have probably won the women's Royal Rumble match.
or
The elimination chamber, I know, but like,
or
remember,
or Tiffany would have failed or lost it back to Nia.
I know, I think Jade would have won the Rumble, women's Rumble. If this is true and Charlotte was going to be in that women's tag title match, I think it would have been Jade to win the women's Royal Rumble match.
Man, but that would mean, man, I kind of wondered then what would have been with playing with Tiffany then with the women's money in the bank.
Yeah, well, to spoil the rest of the card, yeah, she ain't on the rest of this card.
So what? Was she had either failed her cash in or lost it very soon after back to Nia Jax?
I don't think they would. I don't think they had. No, here's the thing. They never added like she was going to cash in. She could have cashed in at WrestleMania. She could have dicked over. I think the plan originally, this is my theory, the plan originally was she was going to cash in at WrestleMania on Nia.
That Nia was going to win and then get cashed in on.
Yeah, that was going to be a WrestleMania moment for Stratton, but they moved it because they wanted to instead go with Charlotte Stratton because, of course, plans change. Asuka was out injured. Charlotte was just coming back from injury.
Becky was uncertain at that point.
Exactly. So I think Nia, like, I know what I just read is doom and gloom for us, but I think that would have led to a Stratton cash in on Nia. Because remember, they were still at odds by that point. Nia
Uh-huh.
and Stratton were still at odds by this point. So I could have seen that happen. She could have come on for a ringside and ultimately have costed Nia.
Yeah,
Like, that's how you would have done it. And remember, contract doesn't expire till for a year, so.
yeah, she could. Yeah, I guess it could have done that way.
I think that's what where it would have
I think
got
we
gone.
worked. Even though the Charlotte Tiffany match wasn't great, I still think we were better off than getting a Jade Nia match.
Yeah, definitely. This next one pisses me off because I have been talking and 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 talking about this tag match happening at WrestleMania and it didn't fucking happen. Do you know which tag match I'm talking about? I'll give you, come on. What's a one, two stables?
Oh yeah. Judgment Day and Wyatt Six.
Fucking hell, it's on the fucking original card. They were going to fucking do it. It was going to be Wyatt Six versus Judgment Club at WrestleMania, but we know why that changed because Bo Dallas was out on injury. So
So
like
what lineup of the Judgment Day would that have been? Because Dom's in another match. So I said it would have been Finn Balor,
it would have been
JD,
Finn, JD Don't Google me. Finn, JD, Carly. No, it
And
would have Finn,
Carlito?
JD. No, this was before Carlito got released. Remember?
Yeah,
So it would have Finn, JD, Carlito. I'm assuming since you're gonna probably make a mixed tag, it would have been Raquel. It would have been Raquel and or Liv. It would be Raquel or Liv. Oh
hmm
no! You know what you could have also done? You could have still added Raquel and Liv because you know who would have been added to the Y6 by this point,
Alexa Bliss.
and you could have had it would have been for the Judgment Club side. It would have been Carlio, Finn, JD, Raquel, and Liv, and then probably would have been Bo,
Row.
Lewis, Rowan, Bliss, and Cross.
hmm
Dude, 10 mixed person mixed tag match. Oh, that would have been fun.
Yeah.
But
But Bo
man,
was injured, so the Wyatt Six plans got pushed away. And yep. And we know what everyone else was doing on that card.
this is it's another one of those. This match can still happen, but not exactly how we would have wanted it.
hmm
Yeah. Because it was like on the left hand side, it would still be the people we mentioned, but on the right hand side, it would just be instead it would be Roxanne in that play in spot. Roxanne and some other person to replace Carlito. No, it would probably be Dominic now.
Yeah, what they did the match now. Then
Yeah, to do the
yeah,
match now.
Finn, Dom, JD, Roxanne, Raquel.
Yeah, and to answer your question, yes, I would have loved this match. I would
hmm
love to have this match instead because it would have been so cool to see the Fireflies out in Allegiant Stadium for the White Six entrance as well. That would
hmm
have been so dope. It's always such an experience. I've actually got to experience it like live like a few times now. Okay, this next one. Okay, they added a bit of Japan spice to it. For the Women's World Championship, it would have just been Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair. I'm assuming Rhea coming in as champion.
Yeah, because
Um,
she wouldn't have lost to Dio.
nope. So yeah, adding EO definitely helped this match. So right off the bat, I prefer what we got.
So if man, hmm. So yeah, if Charlotte did win the Rumble, then the choices would have been either Jade winning it or Bianca winning it of her second time.
Mhm.
So because they had Charlotte win a second time, but they could easily had Bianca be the one winning a second time. Uh, I could probably, but they probably would have went with Jade if they didn't go with Charlotte because they want to have somebody new win it. But who knows?
Exactly.
But like this match probably still would have been good. But man, adding EO to the mix made the match so much better.
Yeah. I think it's one easily one of the best women's matches of the year, if not the
hmm
best. Just like it was remember what we it was what we said after the show. It was like that's the difference between this match and the women's championship match. That was an example of no chemistry. This was an example of near perfect chemistry, and it delivered on every front. It was such a banger, and
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely would prefer what we got now. Next
hmm
up, of course, this is the match we would have gotten if not for things shifting around because of the Rumble winner. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. I think this would have been their third or fourth time in a singles match against each other. I
Yeah.
lost count. I remember their initial match was at Money in the Bank. No, was that Money in the Bank? Yeah, it was that Money in the Bank. That Money in the Bank that Ambrose cashed in. Um, so yeah, this I think this would have been like the third or fourth match because we still got Reigns Rollins, which was their second singles match. Was that at Royal Rumble? That one where he came out and the Shield theme and stuff like that.
hmm
Yeah. So this probably would have been the third or fourth single spot against each other. So
And it would have made sense because their history with this match, but ultimately, and we'll talk about Punk in a second, they decided to change the World Heavyweight Championship scene and just add Punk to this match instead.
so I think
It
what
made this the main event night one.
so I think they would have done is Punk wins Rumble, but you still have that elimination bullshit with Logan Paul and
hmm
like Reign. No, you have that bullshit where Reigns. It's not because you know how all of them, the both of them got eliminated. They fought each other. That would have been it. Them just going fisticuffs at it outside the ring, and
hmm
then maybe you flip it around to where it's Punk that eliminates Logan Paul instead.
hmm
Yeah, that's what you would probably done differently to lead to this match. And yeah, there's nothing to say about this. This would have just continued their rivalry. Maybe you still could have done the Paul Heyman backstab here. You still could have done it.
Yeah,
Um,
you still could have done it.
yeah,
Uh, you just would have had to say the thing with CM Punk for later,
yeah. Speaking of Punk, for the World Heavyweight Championship, it would have been Walter versus CM Punk. So what
which
we're
we're
getting for
now getting at
SummerSlam,
SummerSlam. Yeah.
yeah, nothing to say about this. It's direction Punk would have gone if he won the Men's Rumble, but now they're transitioning it to SummerSlam match instead. And of
Hmm.
course, the most obvious one, the main event was still been Rhodes Cena for the WWE Championship.
Yep. Which the fact that they were playing this far back makes me wonder about the whole Kevin Owens pitch story. Like, because
So
that would have changed everything.
so overall, compared to the card we got to this card, what do you think about this original card overall?
It kind of depends on how they had split them up. Because there's a couple of matches. The only match I would have really liked to see that we didn't get was Breaker McIntyre,
Hmm.
and I would like to see Judgment Day Wyatt Six also. But that I don't know if that changing that out would have changed much. Having a ladder match would have also improved the card. At least one of them. I would have done it like the IC title because I feel like the US title match being a 1-on-1 was fine.
Hmm.
I think if they had added a couple of these matches to the card, it would have improved it a lot. So I would have done this exact card or the card exactly we got. I would have done a little mix of the 2.
That's what I'm thinking too, like a hybrid. Like there's
Mm-hmm.
definitely I was still like I would have kept at least the IC title, like you were saying before, kept the IC title ladder match. I would have kept that as is. Um, I would have definitely, definitely not have done the women's tag team title match because I still want to see Rhea, Bianca, Io, triple threat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't even bring that up. Sorry, I skipped a match. That's my bad. Another match we got in, which for very obvious reason we didn't get, which was Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens.
Yeah,
Which,
because Kevin was
yeah,
got hurt injured.
yeah, but of course,
Instead, we got
what?
say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Okay, so yeah, that ultimately worked out. But yeah, I think we're a hybrid. Okay, let me going down. Yeah, would not done the U.S. title match. Would have done the ladder match for IC title. Yeah, still would have done Ray, Chad. I don't know if I still would have had Chad Gable there. I was
You
yes.
mean whether he would have been El Grande or not? I loved his El Grande
No,
entrance.
no, without I mean the aspect of it being Travis got knocked
Oh
out.
no, 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 no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah, that's what I mean.
no.
I would yeah, definitely would have done Breaker McIntyre. Bunny Dominic, take it or leave it there. Styles Logan Paul. See what I just said about Bunny Mysterio.
But that
Um,
ended up happening anyway. So
maybe would have switched to wins tag team titles. Still have Becky and Charlotte, but have two different other women hold the belts. Who knows? Maybe Secret Hervis going into it.
no, I liked how it worked out with Lyra and Becky. And hey, if we hadn't had the way it was, we wouldn't have gotten the Becky Lyra feud we're currently have right now.
I only would have preferred Jay Nia over the what we did get if Stratton cashed in at Mania. Um, I would have loved to see White Six versus Judgment Day. Or Owens, you have to do that. I already said Rhea Bianca, you needed to add EO there. Reigns Rollins, oh my god, that main night one was really good. Ah, damn,
But Punk Gunther probably been better than Jay Gunther.
that would have been true. So yeah, I would have kept Reigns Rollins as is, still have their Heyman turn. Walter Punk,
I mean, we'll find out at SummerSlam how good that match ends up being.
and well, he wasn't gonna be a part of the main event, but like, yeah, Rhodes Cena, that was gonna be what it was.
Well, not necessarily, because if Travis was involved in the Ray situation, he may not have been involved in this situation, which could have improved the match. Even though we still would have had the fans like hijacking the match and the match still not being that exciting. But at least we wouldn't have had that 6 minute run in.
Yeah. But yeah, I think not much to say on WWE Unreal itself. Some interesting tidbits, depending on how much truth are in them, are definitely interesting overall. I can't wait to see where we go next. If there is a season 2 of the show, I'm curious to see what other little tidbits we'll get with whatever comes next.
It's
But
interesting because you have to cover a very interesting period. This covered the lead up to WrestleMania. So you had maybe that can be, but the thing is, they already have a behind the scenes documentary series for WrestleMania every year. So I don't know. I guess you'd have to do it during maybe the lead up to SummerSlam. That could be season two if you want to do it.
yeah, we'll see what happens. But like I did enjoy doing this. This is nice. We don't normally get to just talk about wrestling stuff. We just talk about who's gonna win what and then react accordingly in our
Hmm.
following reaction. So this was nice. What did you think about doing this, Nick?
I had a good time.
Yeah, yeah, this was enjoyable. We got to actually sit down to discuss like news with no time restraints or no have to transition talking about who's gonna win what matches. Yeah, if some bigger news, like some big news similar to this comes out next, who knows? We may do this again, you know? Like this is something I think could work, not frequently, but when the time calls for it, yeah. And yeah, Nick, if you want to do that, just play that. Hey, I think this should be a separate video discussion card.
Hmm.
Uh, for a discussion. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
mind.
and we can discuss like if we want to make this a series, what we can call this. We call it 1, 2, 3 Wrestling Present something. We'll pitch some
Right,
ideas.
right now I'm just labeling it as discussion.
Yeah, we call it Smack Talk.
No,
But
no.
somebody already took Talking Smack, so we can't take that.
Yeah, for now, I'll just keep it as discussion. I don't know. Like I said, it's kind of a pilot. I thought of the idea, but I didn't think of a title for it. Because, like, I already have enough times. We got, like, SRB Gaming, SRB TV. We had an old show called SRB Chronicles, which flopped so fucking hard.
What was that
Like,
about?
we just went over, we kind of this format, except we just went over stuff, like, topics we grew up with, like, Samurai Jack, demo disc we got in the official US PlayStation magazine. Like it's still
Mm.
on our channel and it's not great. We went over our Christmas tape when we went over our Christmas tape where it was this. We have this tape we've held for decades now, where it's my dad's
You know what the
collection of
issue
Christmas
was?
specials.
You know
What?
what the issue was? I wasn't on the show, but
To
now
be
I'm
fair, at
here.
the time we didn't know. I'm not even kidding when I say this. At the time, I don't even think we were really hanging out. I think at best it was still just pay-per-views at your mom's place. But that's
Well,
it.
not hanging out as much, but we knew each other
We knew we were aware of each other's presence, but you weren't die hard on helping me out with
I
the
played
channel.
because you mentioned this before, but I played a part in the name of the show, the channel.
Yeah, no, oh yeah, we were originally going to call it our last name, super insert our last name here, Bros, but like, I thought that was too like, I don't know, I thought it was too on the nose.
Hmm.
I just, oh, I know Super Reaction Bros a bit more on the nose, but I feel like I wanted to mainly run a reaction channel, and
Hmm.
then the acronym that's why we do SRB because then that's just like KFC just you slap it on there and like it can be something different like SRB TV SRB gaming
Hmm.
something like that like SRB presents something a little different. Oh, we still have to do another movie
I mean,
reaction.
we're gonna call the show SRBTV Presents 1, 2, 3 Wrestling Presents.
No, no, we're not doing that for now. We're just leaving it at discussion or
Yeah,
discusses or I don't know.
we'll talk
uh
about it.
We'll talk about it. Yeah, whatever. So, other than that, folks, if you're new to the channel, you can hit the like button. If you want to talk to us more about stuff like this, comment down below. If you want to share us around, share it around. And if you like it's just a little bit more than anybody else, when it comes to talking about what happened on WWE Unreal, hit the subscribe button down below. Hit that bell icon as well. Let us know what you thought of WWE Unreal and some of the highlights we discussed during this video. What were your favorite moments from this show? What were some of your least favorite moments? What was your most titillating piece of news you got from I'm assuming season one? Let us know in the comments down below. Put down what you thought of our what we brought up during this video overall, but most importantly, we thank you for watching. Now, of course, Nick aside from his channel, where can they find you elsewhere on the internet?
Well, you can find me over on the socials. You can check me out on the Facebooks, the Instagrams, and the XX, formerly known as Twitter. Baby.
And you can check out our pal Mo Brothers on the socials at AfroMobro. And of course, stay tuned for our SummerSlam not predictions, reactions. But check out our SummerSlam predictions though, as it's going to be summerific. I need to come up with something better.
Slamtastic.
Slammer Tafferific.
Sure.
So until next time, though, I'm Kristen.
I'm Nick Slade.
And this has been a very, very real episode of 1-2-3 Wrestling. And we will see you guys later.
Hey guys, thanks for watching.
If you want to check out any of our previous reactions,
as well as one of our other SRB shows,
check out one of the playlists down below.
And if you want to check us out in the social universe,
you can find us on Twitter and Stardust
at Super React Bros,
as well as on Facebook
at Super Reaction Bros.